I put in a marker. All right, so what are we doing today? So yesterday we had, I believe, added an error message to BBECS in like the one spot we had missed having an error message, which of course hit us pretty hard. So what ended up happening was, if we take a look at our library, if we miss having this world.register, then it fails to work because we need to register this like that we're going to have a location, and then it's going to be a point. And so once we do that register, then we can do the inserts. Then we can create the player. So I have done the update. The automatic thing worked. It did take 10 or so minutes. But now if we run this, so if I cd into Asteroids, if I do a cargo run, it's gonna fail because of this world register. But now we see this error, panicked at error creating player. You need to register before inserting components. So we've got that lovely reminder now for us. And now if we run this, and I save the file before running it, it works as expected, and we get our lovely player. So I'm super happy about this. Now I was thinking about like what's the next step once we have the player in here. What do I want to do? We can do like keyboard commands where I rotate the player around. We could do we can do some kind of like thrusting commands where we have the jet engines come out. I guess they're not jet engines in space. They would be like the rocket engines, like fire, and we have a little bit of red out of the back. We can fire. There would be a lot of good stuff about that. I'm thinking I want to, like, when I press forward, I want to fire the rockets for this. Now we're going to run into a little bit of trouble right away with this, because how do I know that I'm doing that? When I hit fire, like when I'm actually doing like the thrusting, so it handles like the input of like keyboard input. So that would probably be a system like handle keyboard input. It's gonna need to say, okay, player, you're now in this like thrusting state. Is that gonna be just like a Boolean? And that Boolean can then be read by the thing that actually makes it move? Or is it going to be something else? And we have to figure that out. My initial thought is we can have a Boolean in a component, and it would look something. Let's see, let's go to create player. What if we did something like dot with component? We would update names to have like a thrusting. And then the data would have to be like, could be like false. So what if we were to do something like this? We have a false in here. Now it's going to say, hey, we don't have, do that. It should say us, hey, we don't have anything that does anything with Boolean. Because we don't have Booleans as available for this. Then, if we have this thrusting here, which would of course mean we need to register that as well. If we do that, then I need to add in like the handling a Boolean for a component, but it would allow me to then later on have a system, if this is true, like add in the little rocket mesh. And I kind of like this idea. So because of that, let's come into BBECS and let's add that in. So this is going to be components. So we don't need to add a data type because Boolean already exists in this. So I think what we need to do is come into components, and we're going to add in a bool, the vec bool, like that. We are going to have to implement, like add our implementation for it. Then down here, we're going to have to add in a bool as well. So let's do an implement cast components bool for components. Okay, so we have cast mute. So if let it's gonna be, yeah, so if let components bool, this will give, I don't want to use like the type, so like you can just do value self, then we're gonna return the okay value. However, if that's not true, then we need to return an error. CS error, casting components from self, so self, and 2 is going to be the components Boolean with a vec with an empty vector. Okay, and then in here we do an into, and I think we're happy here. And I can actually just take this entire thing, and you're the same down here. Okay, so with that being happy, we can come to entity data. What are you upset about? Okay, so match component type. We have another component type to add in. So, okay, this is register. You can do components, bool with an empty vector. I think that's gonna work for right now. We'll have more. Let's see. Do we have more that we need to do? Because query 1 is in here. Let's see, where's all the places we need to add this? So we have source, okay. Systems, create mesh. So, oh wait, this is the wrong one. Okay, so we added to components, don't need touch data types, don't need touch resources for this. Although it is a question, do we need a Boolean resource? I don't know. World, entity data. It looks to me like we're gonna need these in here. So import entity data traits, Boolean entity data. Right, insert. Well, we're gonna definitely need to be able to insert into here. So how are we doing this? This is in the entity data itself. If we take a look at an example here. Okay, so, oh, right, we have to get this out. We have to extract out that like initial Boolean using the name. So let mute wrapped bool Boolean equals components. We have to get mute, pass it the name. We can unwrap this. We can borrow mute. I think that's that there. Then Boolean is equal to the wrapped. Oh, we have to tell it what it's going to be too. So you're going to be that. Wrapped Boolean past mute. And then Boolean push data. Return OK. All right, so that's going to make you happy. We're going to need this here. Right. Okay. So we're going to have a with component. So with component is actually doing the insert in. So this is going to be a self dot entity data dot insert the name and the data. And we're just returning the result. What are you upset about? Mismatched types. Expected. Center result. Oh, right. Do that. And then we return an OK with a self. And then it's name dot into. It's a reference name.into. All right, so that's with component. Add resource. What do I do with add resource? That's inserting into a resource. So we're gonna do self dot resources dot insert. Okay, so we have the name and into it, and then the resource itself is a resource. We know this is a Boolean. It's gonna be a resource. We have to add that in a resource now. We do. Okay, so we just have to do that. Okay, so resource. Which means we have to add you too. Okay, so for both of these, I think they're pretty much the same. So we're going to do an if let resource bool. This can just be like Boolean self. We're going to return this result. So it's going to be an OK and Boolean. However, if not, we're going to turn an error. BBECS error. This is a casting resource from self. Clone the self to. And I think here we can just do create a new resource with a Boolean with like true in it. It doesn't matter. That into and return it. Expected stir found enum. Oh, this is a stir, not the other one. Okay, so this is a Boolean. Okay, perfect. Resource data. Okay, so we're gonna have to implement this for that too. Let's actually try this. I'm gonna take you completely. Make you a Boolean there. Okay, so then I think. Okay, so get resources dot get name unwrap cast. Okay, so that should be fine. Get mute. Resources get mute name unwrap cast mute. All right, so that should be fine there too. We did entity data. Okay, so the mod we're in the middle of doing the mod for this. So resource. Okay, so this is insert resource bool, and we're gonna put the data in. And you return nothing, like that. Get resource. Self dot resources dot just get pass it a reference to the name dot into, and you return this result, but that should be fine. And then the same thing here. Get mute, pass it a reference to the name dot into, and return that on through. Okay, so that should be fine there. I don't need to add errors, and we're fine there. And there, everything else should be good. That should add a Boolean to us. The only error that we have is in asteroids. So what I'm gonna do is come into BBECS. We're gonna test this. I'm also gonna open up cargo.toml. We're gonna bump this to 1.3. All right, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and get this sent up. So we're adding support for Booleans. And we're gonna go ahead and push that. That's to the master branch. So after that runs, it will auto deploy to crates.io, and we'll be good to go. We can actually go and watch that a bit here in BBECS. In actions, we can see that this is running right now. So we have to wait for this to finish. We can see that it takes around 10 minutes and some odd seconds each time that it does the thing. So while that's happening, we can sort of like make preparations for this. We know now that this is going to be version 0.13. I'm going to close you all up. Okay, so asteroids, we're going to come into cargo toml. I'm going to make sure that you are going to be 0.13. You're upset because you don't exist there yet. That's fine. But we can sort of like start preparing and like doing the thing. So we remember we need to register. So it's gonna be names, thrusting, and this is gonna be just a Boolean. Oh, is that how I can do it? Can I just? Oh, right. It's not like that. It's gonna be Boolean. component bool. Did I miss that one? BBECS component. Oh no, I missed that one. Okay, hold on. World. Oh wait, no, I didn't miss that one. We have to wait for it to come in. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so it's gonna be the exact same thing as this, but we're gonna add in a bool. Okay, so that'll be that. Once we have that in our create player, we're gonna have this with component thrusting, and it's gonna be false to begin with. All right, that's gonna get us started. 2 minute, 3 minutes. Okay. Then, once we have the component in there, we have to like update it, right? Let's say I actually start by like setting it to be true. Player, like just the ship is always in thrusting mode, let's say. So if we do that, then in our create mesh, we're creating this like the triangle for the player. We're gonna want to create another triangle, but make it red, which, okay, so that is actually gonna happen here. So let seems like the player engines. So this is only gonna be if it's true. So we need to, okay, we have the index here. So I'm thinking we only need to do this mesh. Okay, so we need to do this separately down here. Okay, so mesh the triangles. Then let's do if we need to query for it too. Okay, so we're gonna have wrapped thrusting. Wrapped is thrusting equals world dot query one. This is the names. Thrusting. Gonna expect screen for locations. And then we're gonna borrow. We just need to borrow for this one. We do need to extract it out too. And we just need to cast it. We don't need cast mute, just cast. You need, okay, we can expect you. I actually think these can all be unwrapped because we have error message for them. But we do have to tell it what it is. So you're gonna be a reference to a vec of bool. Okay, so now that I have is thrusting, then we can come into here and do an if statement. If is thrusting for index okay, so if we're is thrusting, so if this is true, then what do I want to do? I want to now create these triangles and like add it in here. So all of this happens. Okay, so this is not going to be the player triangles. This is going to be the like engine triangles. Okay, so where does this happen? If we take a look at what we had previously, I don't have the triangle up. We can come here. Look at that. So if we have here, we have like this point. I need the opposite, like wherever this is on the like the left-hand side. Oh, that's gonna be interesting when I rotate this too. I wonder how that's gonna work. I wonder how rotation works with like drawing all of these together. Or if I don't want to do that and I actually do want to have like a mesh for every single one individually. Which makes a lot more draws, but it could be easier. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so it would actually be a lot easier to do, and I don't know if we need to do it like this extreme right now. Chantilly, hello! Because if I move this up into like the register or like the create, then it would make things a little bit cleaner and easier, but will potentially decrease performance. So I'm not sure which way I actually want to go with it. Let's continue on. Just sort of like see what we actually run into trouble with it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna run trouble when we move around and or we rotate. I think that's gonna be a problem. All right, so engine triangles, we do this here. Okay, so we have this like these points where we know exactly where they are. We've only got the reference to it here, so I can actually use this as a reference. So we're pointing here and we're coming, I guess, like here, like that. So I want to start like here and then just go down that way. But really I have our location too, and I have our player size. So let's create, so our X that we start should be essentially one of these points. Like this could be 0.1. So we're gonna go to the left-hand side. That's minus this. I already forgot. I don't remember if I said hi to you, Chantilly, but hi again if I forgot. So that's the left-hand side, and then I want to go like all the way down to this location Y, and then we want to go to the left-hand side, and then oh, not in the middle. This needs to be like plus. Let's just go up half. Oh, we are going up. Let's go up like a quarter of what we did before. So So we're gonna have player size divided by 4.0. Okay, so that's over, down a little bit. Then I need to go way over. So this is maybe like, instead of divided by 2, we're going all the way out. And then this will be in the center. And then we're gonna go back to sort of like the starting with X. And then this is gonna be, instead of a plus, it's gonna be a minus divided by 4. And you become the engine triangles. Let's make this a red color. I don't think there's a red here, so we're gonna have to do a color new. We might want to have like a engine's color resource. That would actually be really nice. If I do like 1.0, 0, 0, 0, that gives us a color, and then we expect that. Okay. And this is gonna be creating, not creating player triangle, but creating engine triangle. We drop the wrap locations because we're done with that. Okay. How are we doing with this? It's done. And so if we go, that took, 11 minutes, 14 seconds, a little bit longer. If we go to create.io, just updated, we now see that we're on 013. All right, so we are, yep, this is even saying it's green now. So if we do this, I wonder if everything is just gonna work. Let's find out. Required by package Asteroids Rust 010. Asteroids. So flocking rust. Come on. Don't make me take flocking rust. Okay, I'm just gonna. I wonder, can I just take flocking rust out of the workspace? Will you be happy? You are happy, but now we have problems. Okay, so I should probably just not use a workspace anymore. It's like causing more problems than it solves. All right, cannot borrow world is mutable because it's also borrowed as immutable. We have this world add resource. This is in create mesh. So line 71. So what we should probably do is another drop for the is thrusting. Actually, the wrapped is thrusting. Hey, look, and we have like a little engine here. Okay, that's looking really nice so far. I want to get that color into our resource. So like the engine color. So the way we can do that is add resource. We could add another resource. And you go into names. This is gonna be like the thruster color. All right, so now we can add that. So world dot add resource. Name, raster color, and our data is going to be a color. New, I'm going to do 1.0, 0.0, 0.0, 1.0. All right, there we go. Which means in this create mesh, we can grab that out too. So that raster color. I actually only need to get this out if we're thrusting. So I want to do that inside of this if here. So if we're thrusting, raster color, which is going to be a type of a reference to a color. It's going to be equal to world dot get resource. Name is names raster color. And you have, okay, we could just unwrap. And there you go. I think that works. Now in here, instead of this color, we can do raster color. And I think that's fine. Oh, you need to be dereferenced, which I think will copy it. Yeah, because color implements copy. So if I do that, nothing should change. Everything should still work just fine. Yep, there we go. But now we can mark you, like when we first create this, we can say that you're false and that the engine should no longer be on. There we go. Okay, perfect. So the idea here is now we want to tell if like the up arrow key is like pressed in. Well, that could be a problem. Like we need to build like actually know what the key is. And I need to remind myself how that works. So let's go into okay, so in GGEZ, I want like the keyboard. Okay, so in keyboard, okay, so we can get keyboard out of here, out of GGEZ input. We can then do is keypressed, context, and then a key code. So if I wanted, and then what are you? Like, so this key code right. I'm like, what is that? Key code. Okay, so it's an enum. This key code. And that's it. That's a lot of cool stuff in there. I wonder, do I have to? I probably have to use one of these. So I think we have to update BBECS again to add in key code support so that I can store which key code that I'm caring about. So this is gonna be like a GGEZ key code, as opposed to like, you know, if I eventually do this with Bevy or Piston or like my own, I would care about that. So this is gonna be a GGEZ key code, and we're gonna store that. All right, let's get it added in. Closing down U. I don't know how to like open everything up all at once. Okay, so we're gonna start here. So we're gonna have components. This is gonna be a key code. So G E Z key code. Be a vec of well, key code. Implement U. Okay, so we're gonna return, I think it's a key code. That, yep. Okay, so where this components bool comes in, it's gonna be a key code. A virtual key code. Okay, interesting. Value, casting components. Okay, so far that's okay. And then in this pub enum component, GZ key code. All right, so we add that there. Data types. We don't have to add in like a point or something like that. It would be interesting. We could have our like own key code that sort of like wraps around that. I don't know if we want to do that. Okay, resource. Same thing here. Okay, add in the key code. All right, so you're going to be a key code returning. GGZ key code. Okay, so let's change this. Key code. Okay, so casting resource from self clone. Okay, so then I think that's good. Resource data. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Impl, yeah, that doesn't care about you. I need to clone you. Okay, the rest of this, that's fine there. Okay, so entity data. What are you yelling about? Component type. We need to add you, fill in and match arms. Okay, so give you an empty vector when we register. We also have to impl our key code here. Wrapped key code. All right, so then that should be happy here. We do also need the world methods. I don't think we need anything else inside of here. Yeah. This is gonna be all the normal stuff. Okay, so we need to implement you. Yeah, making these macros would be so nice. Okay, so key code into that with components, name, data, returning result. Okay, so entity data, do that thing. Add the resource. Okay, so everything basically now just sort of works. Oh, data is not happy. Oh, right, because okay, so wherever it has like resource pool, that needs to change to a GGEZ key code. Get resources, that's fine. And get resources mute. Okay, that's also fine. And I think that's gonna be it. Now, I wonder if it would be useful for us to like write a test for this. And that would like ensure that things are actually working the sort of the way we expect them to be, at least for all these. So we want to be able to handle like resources, and entity type stuff. We can like repeat this test for each type that we add in. So if I do this with config test, let's see if we can have a mod test. And then test function. Okay, so this is gonna be a function. We want to test that like these methods work. And what are we thinking of? We're thinking of for probably right now we'll just do like the key code, right? So function test. What are the different things we could do? We could do like inserting. We should be able to insert and get out a resource, and we should be able to insert and query for a component. So should get resource key code resource. I think I can actually do like return results now. I think we can do that. If I do that there, then okay, so let's create the world. Okay, so we've got the world. Let's go ahead and we want to create our resource. So world dot add resource. The name, something that implements into. I don't think that this stir doesn't implement into for string, does it? Because if I do something like that, key code, and then I want to do a key code, let's just say A. I'm not getting any errors. I'm not seeing any on the side either. I mean, I'm getting some warnings. That's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, so we've added the resource for that. What next do I care about? I need to get it out. So once we have that out, we should be able to do let key code is equal to world dot get resource. The name is key code. This is going to be the result. So I want to just question mark that. And I need to tell you exactly what you are, which is going to be a reference to a key code. Also, I don't know why you added this in. You're an... I think you have to be an error, right? An error result? Okay, we've got that. Oh, we should just pull in result from here. That'll make you happy. Okay. Then we have this key code. Let's see. Okay, so we have key code is now got in. We should now be able to assert equal that key code is the same as key code A. Let's go ahead and dereference you, which should clone you. And so now if I run this as a test, should get key code resource. Okay, so that works just fine. So that means we can now repeat this exact same thing for the components. So key code components. All right, so that we create the new world. We have to register first. We're gonna do world dot register. The name is a key code. The component type is going to be a component. Nope, wrong one. Come on, find it. Okay, component. Okay, fine. There it goes. Okay, so it's gonna be a GGEZ key code. That doesn't return a result or anything. Then we're going to, we have to do the entire world.spawn entity. And then we can do a with component. Okay, so the name is this key code, and the data is going to be this key code A. All right, so let key code. Okay, so then we want to query this out. So wrapped key codes. I don't have to tell you what you are yet. It's going to be world.query1. And then the name is going to be key code. And then, okay, so then we can borrow. We can just borrow. That gives us a ref of the components. We should be able to get the first one out. So I would just want the wrapped key codes. Oh, we have to cast them too. Let codes. Now I have to tell it what it's going to be. You're going to be a reference to a vec of I guess it's just going to be like key code equals the wrapped key codes dot cast no method name for instruction, a ref of components. Does components not have that? Yeah, so here's cast for key code. So because I need to pull in cast components. Come on, can't you just do star and not be weird? No. All right. Query one. Oh, okay. We just have to unwrap you because you're not a result. Okay, so now still no cast. So ref key codes is like the ref to components. If we go to components, impl for components, and we have this key code there. We have the cast and cast mute. So Spish Kairos, hello, good morning. All right. So key codes, a wrapped key codes, which is this. It's a ref of components. We're gonna cast. Oh, okay. So you don't exist, but you can't tell me to bring it in either. So use super components. It's not that. It's used component. Do I have it up here? No. It's cast components. Use super components. We have to go BBECS. Okay. Hold on. What if I don't use that? What if I just have everything? Oh, this push is silent. Okay. Hello, Kairos. But you do exist, even though this push is silent. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. All right, so use. Why are you unhappy with me? If I do something like this, and we have like, result come out. Obviously need like the world and the world methods. But now we need like the component cast stuff. So import. So you don't see that. After seeing the chat game the other day, started working on an AI aquarium on stream this week. Going to have it set up so chat can mess with it while the AIs evolve. Oh, that sounds so cool. I am going to... Why can't I follow? Oh, because I've been following you since... Yeah, okay, I'm already following, I think. Wait, am I? I have to go to your... Oh, I have to go to your channel to follow. There it is, follow. I'm gonna follow you and hopefully you see that when you've got that up and running. All right, now you can stop. Go back to normal chat. What did I do? Okay, refresh. Yeah, no, it's like the dashboard was very confusing. It was you following me, not me following you. Apparently that was the problem. Come check it out. It's your fault a little bit. Oh, absolutely. I definitely will. When do you normally stream? Okay, so failed to resolve this component. We need to bring that in. And component, so we're already bringing in that here. So I should be able to bring in component and components. And then your key codes. I want you to be key codes of 0. Okay, so we need this entire cast thing. We need this thing to work out now. I can't pull that in automatically. And do we have that up here? I do not have that up here. So let's go ahead. Use create components, cast components. There we go. Now I can cast this. That will give me that. Okay. Spawn entity has unused result. We can question mark that. Okay, and now, yeah, you're just yelling at me that it's not spelled correctly. So now I should be able to cargo test this. All right, all those tests pass. So now we can know that we can like get these out and it should work. We could add like the mutable versions as well. That might be useful. We can do like that. So should like mutably get, so then in here, okay, so we have result, rolled that, because we're gonna add this resource. We want you to be mutable reference the key code. So you become a get resource mute with the key code. We then want to mutate you. So we want to say like key code equals maybe like I don't know if I can do this. A destructured key code equals key code. Let's do like B. You're now key code B. If we do that, then I want to get you again, but this time just normal. So that key code is going to be a reference. The key code. Wonder if I need to drop you. I don't think I do. It's going to be equal to world.getResource. Key code. That, and then key code should now be equal to B. 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Well, 2 to 4 Mountain Standard Time, depending upon your energy level. All right. Well, I'm following you, so if you go live, I should get a notification, and I'll check it out. Although I am working at that time, and I have a lot of meetings, so I probably will just end up lurking, which ends up happening a lot. Like I just play things sort of like in a background, don't necessarily get to interact. Okay, so we're gonna register here with components. We're gonna spawn entity with this key code. We're gonna get the wrapped key codes. We're gonna query this. This time we're gonna borrow mute, which gives us this ref mute. We can now key code. We want you to be a mutable reference to this. We want to cast mute here. Cannot borrow. You need to be mutable. You're going lurk mode. Thank you so much for stopping by. And also good luck with your aquarium project. That sounds like it's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and change this. So I want to do a key codes, a position 0. Let's make you this like B, right? So key code B. We're going to do another query again. So let just wrapped codes is going to be equal to the world query 1 code. We're going to unwrap you. We're going to just borrow you. Let key codes. It's going to be a reference to a vector of key code. You have a lot of cool stuff on the go, but you're lurking before you get caught up in it. Nice. Well, thank you so much for lurking here. Okay, so then we're gonna query. No, it's gonna be the wrapped key codes. And then we're just gonna cast like that. Then we're gonna expect you to be B. All right, so then this should pass all its tests. It failed. Okay, so what happened here? Panicked had already mutably borrowed. Borrow error. So at line 256. So right here. Do I have to do something like that? No. So like this key codes, just mutable reference to it. I want to set you to be this key code B. We've casted you mute, so we know exactly what you are. Oh, it's 256 here. Oh, so it won't let me shadow this. I wonder if I can drop you. I'm gonna drop wrapped key codes. There you go. That's what I needed to do. Okay, so now I've got a test in. I think this is actually going to be a good plan. If we do these tests for each of these sort of like types that we do, then it'll make it a lot easier for us like add new ones in and make sure that we've done the thing correctly. So at this point in time, I should be able to just get rid of all of these warnings. So I don't care about asteroids right now. Okay, so unused import components. Let's get rid of you. Key codes. Yeah, just go ahead and learn it for this workspace. All right, so that's everything good inside of here. Let's also open up the cargo TOML for BBECS. We're 4. All right, so we added support for GGEZ key codes. And we'll push that up. Now, that'll be like another 10 minutes before we can use it, but we can just sort of like start getting ready for it. What is it going to look like? Let's go ahead and close all of you down. In Asteroids Rust, we need to set the key code as, I think, a resource for like what like thrusting means, right? So I'm gonna have like the up arrow be what that is. So in our main library, we're gonna add in a resource, but if we do that, we need to go into names first. We're gonna thrust key code. Okay, so thrust key code works like that. Then I'm gonna come back to here. We're gonna add in a resource with the GGEZ key code. So world.add resource, names, rest key code, and our data is gonna be a key code. We want like, I guess it's up, I think, is what that is. All right, so that's gonna add that in there. Petition to rename the project Asteroids. Oh, that, I was thinking initially of doing like Rusty Asteroids, but that could be good. Maybe what I'll do is like I can have like the title of the game be different. But I think I'm gonna keep the repo the same. But I want to change that now. All right, so you're yelling at me because you don't have like a key code yet. By the way, mini missiles don't free the memory. Many missiles don't free the memory. Oh, because like when I'm gonna have like many missiles, they're not going to go away. I don't have missiles yet, so I don't know if that's a problem. I mean, we'll get to it when we get to it, though. I think we're gonna add them each in as components, and so when they're done, I'm gonna delete them, which should get out of memory, but we'll see. All right, so, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, renaming projects is a pain. Yeah, renaming projects is such a pain. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so we're gonna add the resource in for this. We are, what's next? After adding the resources, we need to create a system for handling, like handling thrusting, like handling input. Like we need to handle input resource. So in system, we're gonna create a new file. We're gonna handle inputs, rs. All right, so what is it going to be? Pub function, handle input system. We're definitely, okay, so we're going to need, obviously, the world. We're not going to need it mutably. We just need a reference to the world. Is that true? Yes, it's just true. We're also going to need the context. And I think it's, oh, which kind of result do we want to return? Probably a game result. All right, so we'll just do an okay right now just to make it happy. Okay, so what do we need to do here? We need to extract out that key that we're using. So this is 5 minutes to go. Okay, so we need to extract out the key. So that's going to be let like the key code, like the thrust key code is going to be a reference to a key code equal to world dot get resource names rest key code. Get resource, you give me a result. So I have to unwrap you. That's it. You're just gonna yell at me that the version for key code doesn't exist yet. All right. All right, so thrust key code. Now that we have that, we need to check to see if the thrust key code is what we have down. So we need to get the current key that's down. So I think that's gonna be if keyboard is key pressed. And the context, and then the key is going to be this is the virtual key code. It's going to have to be a dereferenced rest key code. Okay, so if that's indeed the case, then we need to get to query out the like the player, thrusting. I'm kind of thinking that I might want to just like turn the is thrusting into a resource, because literally nothing else in a game can like thrust around the screen unless I'm doing multiplayer, which I'm not. So I kind of want to come back here and just like add in. So world dot add resource. This is gonna be thrusting. You're gonna be false to begin with. Then down here, I don't need to do this with component. You can just be that. Actually, I can just end you. That seems pretty nice. Or not. Are you incompatible? Oh, you are. You are. I forgot. You're incompatible. Okay, so we have that. Then so we've added the resource here. We've changed the component here. Create mesh is going to be slightly different now. So instead of this like is thrusting, we have to get the is thrusting out of. We don't need this entire wrapped is thrusting anymore. It's just gonna be, okay, is thrusting is gonna be a reference to a bool. Is the world dot get resource names thrusting. And I think it's just a unwrap. Nice. Okay. Then here, if is thrusting is a little bit simpler. And dereference view. All right, so if we are thrusting, then go ahead and like add the mesh in to the player triangle. And I don't need to drop you anymore. Everything is fine here. Okay, so we've got that. Back to handle input. What are you upset about? Okay, yeah, get resource. You're saying, hey, there's nothing there for a key code. Yeah, we're close to that. All right, so if what this means is we do need this to be a mutable world. So we get the thrust key code. We also need to let mute is thrusting. It's going to be a mutable reference to a key, a boolean. World dot get resource. Names thrusting. Unwrap you. Expected mutable reference, mute bool, found that. Oh, because we need, wait, do we need to cast you? Yeah, result T. Let's see. All right, what are you upset about? Expected. So I'm unwrapping you from this result that should give me. Oh, get resource mute. That's what it is. I forgot that. Then we'll be happy. Okay. Then, okay, so if keyboard is pressed and the thrust key code, then what I want to do is say a dereferenced is thrusting is equal to true. Else is thrusting is equal to false. So just whatever you are, you're the opposite. Or I guess not the opposite. If you're pressed down, we're thrusting. It's true. Otherwise, we stop thrusting. Okay, so you're just unhappy there, and now let's see. If I go into cargo.toml, and I do 4, you're not there yet. Oh, okay? So you've there now. There you go. Let's cargo run this and see. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, what happened? Let's see. This is in handle input line 10. So right here. So get resource mute. Oh, cannot borrow it. So I wonder. Oh, the handle input. This is, yeah, this is gonna. Now, if I do this and like just clone it immediately, then you're gonna be a key code. And then I don't care about you anymore. I just like dereference you into there to essentially copy you, and then I want to drop. No, I don't want to drop. That's over with that. Then I don't need to do you. Stop it. Hit the right key. All right, so that makes that happy. Then it's just yelling at me that handle input system isn't being used because I kind of forgot to use it. So inside of update, we create the mesh. We're also going to handle the input system. We're going to pass in a mutable reference to self.world and the context, and we can question mark that. All right, let's try this again. And now if I hit the up arrow, and as soon as I release it, it goes away. So perfect. I can now initialize and like start the thrusters on the ship. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is, it is 8:22. I'm going to need to wind the stream down, and luckily I'm early enough that I don't need to do an emergency stream shutdown like yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead